Stellantis is now financially tied to a Chinese car manufacturer, Leapmotor, and they will be selling them as a partnership in Europe starting in September of this year, 2024. What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Wide Body Nation. And there's been a lot of rumors swirling around for about a year or so about Stellantis and Chinese EV manufacturers and some other Chinese endeavors that have been all over the place. But as of October of 2023, Stellantis is at least a 20% equity partner of Leapmotor, which is a Chinese EV manufacturer. And this makes a lot of sense, although it is a bit hypocritical on the CEO's part, the CEO of Stellantis. Last year, the CEO of Stellantis, Tavares, he was saying that, he's worried about all these Chinese EV manufacturers because they can manufacture these EVs at such low cost that they can sell them at such low cost, both in Europe, all over Asia, really everywhere, and of course the United States, which is kind of the gold standard market where everyone wants to be able to sell their vehicles. And so this CEO was complaining, the CEO of Stellantis was complaining that that EVs cost Stellantis about twice the amount that it costs them to make an internal combustion vehicle. And yeah, the EV supply chain, it takes a lot. You guys have seen a lot with Tesla. But instead of just continuing to complain, he is still complaining, but about other things now. But the CEO of Stellantis, obviously under his guidance, has entered into this equity partnership where Stellantis will be helping to sell the Leapmotor EVs across Europe starting in September of this year. I believe this is the one right here. Yeah, Europe Stellantis. This is a article 5 days ago. Today is May 19th of 2023. Europe Stellantis and China's Leapmotor will sell electric cars in Europe in September. So, European car maker Stellantis on Tuesday said it has formed a joint venture, meaning that they're financially tied now, with Chinese electric vehicle startup Leapmotor that will begin selling EVs in 9 European countries later this year, 2024. Sales will begin in September for Belgium, France, Italy, Germany, Greece, Netherlands, Romania, Spain, and Portugal, Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares said in a news event in China. Electric vehicles will also be sold in countries or to countries in South America, the Middle East, and Africa, as well as India and the Asian Pacific, he says. So there's not a ton of details yet, but I mean, that is this year, guys. That is coming right down the pipe, and this is Stellantis's way to get a foothold across the world so that he can put pressure on the U.S. to go ahead and sell these cars there. I'll show you the models, and then I'll show you what he's running up against in a second. It looks like Stellantis will sell the T03 full electric mini car in Europe and the C10 all-electric midsize SUV in Europe, up to starting with 200 dealers and then raising up to 500 dealers by mid 2026. So that is a considerable amount. And this can show you guys why Stellantis, they seem like they don't really give a crap about the current Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram market and dealers here in the United States, and it's because they don't. They are looking at the long game, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, and longer out right now, and all they're seeing is EVs. Now, I wouldn't argue that EVs have a future, but they are forsaking their current market here in the U.S. To just quadruple down on EV sales, and they're trying to do the proof of concept in more friendly markets to EVs like Europe. The modern thing that the CEO is really complaining about is the new tariffs that the Biden administration slammed on pretty much any Chinese product that has to do with EVs, anything from steel to batteries to actual EV cars to really anything. And it's funny because the CEO was complaining a year ago about how Chinese EVs are going to go ahead and undercut the U.S. market, sell for $10,000, $12,000, $20,000 here in the U.S., whereas you guys know most EVs sell for 30, 40, 60, $100,000 here, made by mainly US car companies or companies who have sold in the US for a very long time. So, this CEO definitely seems like a very shrewd businessman. I assume he identifies as a man. And, he went from basically advocating for tariffs and advocating for protection of the market against China to straight up financially joining, dropping billions of dollars, 1.5 billion euro, so even more dollars. Now, here, the deal specifically, let's jump into this a little more. The deal also outlines the formation of Leapmotor International, which is a 51%, 49% Stellantis-led joint venture that has exclusive rights for the export and sale, as well as manufacturing of Leapmotor products outside of Greater China. So basically, OC Motivator, a couple other guys have done videos on some Stellantis funny business with China and just their speculation. But, this deal has already happened 6 months ago. And in the next 5 to 6 months, we're going to see Stellantis literally selling Chinese cars pretty much across the world, except for here in the US. And one of the main reasons that they're not going to be selling them here yet is because of those tariffs imposed by the Biden administration. Now, how soon could you guys see Chinese EVs here in the US market? Well, Stellantis seems pretty intent on selling as many Chinese EVs as possible, really, and not just making them by themselves. If Stellantis was better at making EVs, then they probably would have just made them themselves for an appropriate cost, and then went ahead and sold them all across the world, including the US. But as you guys know, Toyota, Stellantis, FCA, so many companies that are either US or global companies, they manufacture cars all over the world as well, but specifically North America. Canada and Mexico both have many production facilities that are in North America, obviously, for companies like Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Toyota. And that is a way that companies get their foothold into North America, which gets them that next step closer to the United States, because there's different trade agreements based on continents, based on countries, based on other partnerships. So you guys can kind of see how the very muddy water is starting to become a bit clearer here, because Stellantis is trying to take some different backdoor angles to go ahead and get as many Chinese electric vehicles sold as they can, and they're really doing it in kind of a smart way, if we're being honest. I personally don't particularly like how the EVs have been shoved down everyone's throats, at least here in the US yet. But you can see Stellantis making some very savvy business moves to go ahead and establish pipelines for production, distribution, and sale of these EVs in markets that are more friendly to them and to Chinese EVs specifically. So just wanted to bring that story to you guys, or those stories. This has been in the news, in and out of the news for a good half a year now, but it really seems to be materializing now into reality, with billions of dollars being spent, with companies engaging in these partnerships, equity agreements, and with cars about to start being sold, Chinese vehicles, Chinese EVs being sold in many countries that we would consider first world countries, that's going to be used for a model to why they should be able to sell them here in the US after they get around all these tariffs and other issues. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure you guys go ahead and protect your Mopar and your F-150 at destroyer1320.com. Go ahead and protect any make and model with TrackHawk GPS KillSwitch, and go ahead and make sure you have a Ridge wallet, protecting your credit card information from scanners like these, because RFID cards have been around for a while, and so have the card readers. This card reader is $30 or $40 on Amazon, and it can steal your credit card information pretty quick, because it's supposed to swipe your card, so all you have to do is bump into somebody and run the transaction. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Those companies all give me a little kickback, so just know that. But I believe in all those products, and I use all those products, so Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys for the next video.